Alright, and welcome to factoring when a doesn't equal 1. I swear this is the last video of this assignment. Here we go. Okay, so why am I saying when a doesn't equal 1? Well, I want you to recall that these are of the form ax squared plus bx plus c, and here it's quite obvious that our a term is negative 3. So we actually want to get our a term to be 1. Okay. So if I want to get our a term to be 1, that means I have to be able to divide each of these by negative 3. Now there's a great question here. Can I divide each one of these by negative 3? Well, negative 3, let's test it out. Okay, let's test it out. So remember, this term that we are going to divide from each one, we'll put it out in front, negative 3. And negative 3 divided by negative 3 is in fact x squared. Well, yeah, check it out. We just got our coefficient in front of x squared to be a 1. Okay, a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 18 divided by 3 is 6x, and of course a negative divided by a negative is a positive. 27 divided by 3 is going to be 9. Now that we have done that, can we factor this out using our simple factoring method? Well, we have negative 3 times, we'll break this down into two parentheses, and remember x squared breaks down into x, and here is where we want to, I'm going to kind of abbreviate our steps here. We take our c term, which is 9, and we break it down into all possible factors. So that's 1 times 9, and that's 3 times 3. And since this is a positive and that is a positive, this is the easy case where everything's always going to be positive. We don't have to worry about negatives. Well, what is 1 plus 9? Well, that is going to give us 10. And what's 3 plus 3? That's going to be 6. And recall, we're looking for a b term of 6. These are our numbers. So we're going to say x plus 3 and x plus 3. And that is how you factor that. Alright, let's go ahead and try out one more example, because I think you guys got this. Okay, so let's take a look at example 2. This is our very last example for this entire lesson. And we notice that here, let me use this nice purple color, our a term is not equal to 1. In fact, our a term is equal to negative 4. Now, what's it going to look like to factor out a negative 4 from everything? Well, we'll divide that by negative 4. We'll divide that by negative 4. Remember, that's a 4. I just kind of wrote over that a term, and that is negative 4. Well, can 32 be divided by 4? Yes. Can 80 be divided by 4? Yes. Okay. Alright, so let's see, what is that going to look like? Well, remember, that comes out in front, and going through here, negative 4 divided by negative 4 will of course give us x squared. Here we have a positive divided by negative, so that will be negative 8. 32 divided by 4 is 8x. And wait, another positive divided by negative is a negative, and 80 divided by 4 will give us 20. Now from here, let's go ahead and start breaking this down. We know our coefficient, or our GCF, that we factored out was negative 4. We know that now we have a term of 1. We can split this into x and, of course, x. And now, let's go ahead and take a look at our c term. Now, let's see. Here we have a negative 20. And what's the rule for a negative c term? That means that one of your values has to be positive and one of your values has to be negative. So here we're actually looking for a difference of 8. Okay, and I'll write that out. We're looking for a difference of 8. So this is one where you should actually think about it as subtraction. Okay, let's list out all our possible factors. There are 1 and 20, which has a difference of 19. Well, that's not right. There is 2 and 10, which has a difference of 8. Wait a second. Okay, we got that. Now notice, here our b term is actually negative. That means that we have more negatives, which means that the 10, the larger number, has to be negative. So what's this going to look like? Positive 2 and negative 10. And there we have just factored our original statement, negative 4x squared plus 32x plus 80. We just factored it very quickly, very easily. Good luck, and I'll see you guys in our next lesson.